Okay, what am I doing today? I am going to be resealing this transmission because it's just pissing oil out everywhere. And it is leaking in the way that you can't really tell if it's the dry shaft seal or that little plate thingy that's on the back. I don't know what that is, but it's one of those. Now, I could just do those two, but an entire gasket kit for the whole transmission is like 27 bucks, and it makes a good video to do it, so why not do the whole thing? And as an idiot, when I went to get the gaskets and seals, I didn't really look into getting oil. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save the oil that comes out of here. It's probably not gonna be much. It holds like a quart, I think. So I'm gonna save what's in there and top it off with this red line oil. I don't have much. This is left over from a previous project, but this is what I'm gonna use once I get oil for it. It is a GL4. Unfortunately, most of the gear oils today are GL5, and you cannot use GL5 with brass synchronizers that has, because it'll just corrode them and go to nothing. But on the Redline's website, it does say that it is compatible with gearboxes that used GL1, which that did originally, and just anything with brass bushings. So this will work. I got some on order, some on the way, so I'll just reuse what's in there, top it off with this for now. Okay, first thing is to remove the gear lever. This boot is split already, and I have a new one, so I'm just gonna rip it the rest of the way. And there is a nut right here that we have to turn. This is a pretty big one. That was not very tight at all. I don't know if that's normal or not. So next step is getting the speedometer cable unscrewed from it. Okay, well, that went easy. So this is the M40 transmission. I thought about getting an M41, which has the overdrive, but my whole purpose for this is not spending too much money on it, so I may as well just make this one work. You gotta watch that this peg here is longer, so it has a longer bolt. So I took this thing over there, cleaned it up, and I went to replace the output shaft seal, and it is too small. So I don't know what's going on with that, but this is not gonna work. So this is the speedometer cable drive. It just fits right in here. You have a hole there, you just line up there, and it's got a set screw that screws down in it. I have some new seals here. There's a bunch of small ones. I don't know what they're for, not this one. So all I'm gonna do is use this one and probably that one for this spot and that spot. There is not much going on in there. That's literally just a couple gears and some shifter forks. All right, so I got this all cleaned up. I think I'm going to leave this gasket and seal alone. With this being incorrect, that kind of has me a little bit paranoid. I'm assuming this is the shaft seal and that is the gaskets. Little one here. I'm gonna hang on to them just in case I get around to it at some point down the road. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up. I'm gonna run the oil through the filter, dump it in here instead of just going in through the fill port. Now these holes though, I'm assuming this is the correct gasket. It's fitting fine. I don't remember the old gasket coming off having that. And there's nothing on here. No, it's on this end here. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Well, we'll see if it works. Hopefully it does. I'm gonna have to line up those shifter forks. Now, if you've seen an earlier video on this car, and if you were observant, because I did not mention this, the clutch during engagement is violently jerky, just shakes everything around. I know the right thing would be to just put a clutch in it, but before I put a clutch in it, I'm gonna yank the bell housing off. I'm gonna pull the clutch apart and see if I can see anything that I can fix or adjust, clean up maybe, before putting a clutch in it. I'm not seeing much other than it just being rusty. I'm gonna yank this thing, the pressure plate off, and have a look in there. Well, I don't see anything wrong. There's somewhat of a groove, but it's, well, you know what, I do feel it there. It's not consistent all the way around. That could be it, and that could be my problem. I might experiment and take a wire wheel and a drill and just kind of clean that mess up, because that looks like that could be oil residue. The friction disc seems fine, as well as the pressure plate. It kind of feels like it might have some oil residue on it. That could just simply be my problem. I just clean it up and stick it back together and see what happens. That's all I'm gonna do. Now, I do not have a clutch alignment tool, so there are two ways to do this. You put all the screws in loosely to where it just starts pinching the friction disc, and center it up by your eye as best you can, and then put the bell housing on. Slide the transmission just in it and then out. So if this can still move a little bit, your input shaft will center it up when you shove it in. Or you can put the bell housing on and just push the clutch and put a stick or something on the clutch pedal to hold it as you put the transmission in, because with this being mounted on the bell housing, your clutch is functional with just the bell housing on, and the transmission can be off. So I might try that first. Well, the method of depressing the clutch pedal to put the transmission in worked like a charm. But unfortunately, I am running a little low on time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just throw this thing all back together. I'm not gonna worry about filming it all. So